Sri Lankan Airlines and Visit Melbourne present Cricbuzz Comm box. I'm Gaurav Kapur. With me, Ajay Jadeja. Australia, of course, winning the toss and choosing to bat in this decider in Bengaluru. And the score at the end of the 35th over. Well, they are at 183 for 4. Of course, I think you should make that for 3 in a way, because one of them was a pinch hitter, Mitchell Starc, who they've lost. So they still have one batsman in Ashton Turner, who's still in the hut. And then, of course, goes into their all-rounders, Agar and beyond. But right now, Steve Smith, of course, the dangerous man for India, 80 not out. With Steve Smith, this just seems like service as per usual, right? Yeah, just going to just be in there and just keep going, keep going.
Yeah, I mean, with him and with Virat Kohli, it's like if there's a game and if they get into bat, they get past 10, 15 runs, they're there till the end. So it's a matter of time, whether it's how much time is left, whether it's 80, 100, 120, 130, and they just make it look so easy.
Yeah.
And when you look at the other players, you say, Arey, people get out at 30, people get out at 60. These two somehow have found a system where getting out, of course, they also get out, but either it's at the start or when right at the end or when the game's over or they just come back not out. Makes it, they're amazing players and totally different.
Superhuman, actually, both of them. And Steve Smith, of course, didn't get his 100 in the last game. Today will not want any lapse of concentration with just a couple of runs short of that. So he's going to try and stay there till the end. Because if you look at the score right now, that wicket, of course, reeling from the impact of that run out. Now, these are the kinds of unforced errors, rookie mistakes that Australia does not make. You don't find people like Steve Smith making those kind of mistakes. That run out, perhaps he can take the majority of the blame of that run out of Finch, right? There was some confusion in calling. He did the classic, like,
yes, no, yes, no.
like, Finch, of course, upset with that. So sometimes when you do that, when you have the guilt of running out a senior player, a captain, do you then want to, like, ab to bilkul bhi nahi out ho sakta?
Yeah, I mean, because,
I've got to take it to 300 now.
And especially if it's a captain, because don't forget, captain is the boss. So, and this fellow anyway doesn't get out. So he just made sure that he'd hang around for longer. The only impact that really made, because the kind of wicket it is, if Finch had been around, you probably would have got more runs by this stage.
Yeah.
And they would have probably felt a little comfortable, and maybe that's why you see the move, sending of Starc in there, trying to take a chance only tells you what. They were not only 3 down around the 30 over mark. So you're comfortable from the wicket's point of view, but you're not comfortable with the number of runs that you've already put on board.
Yeah,
so maybe that pressure that Smith and Labuschagne took after that run out had slowed them down. So that run out made that big difference. Finch being around, you would have been ahead.
Yeah.
But the kind of wicket that it is, normally you don't pick up wickets. You, as a batting team, you lose wickets.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's have a look at what the bowlers have done so far. For India, of course, that astonishing economy rate of Jasprit Bumrah. It comes into bowl at whatever time. I mean, 6 overs, 18 runs. Kind of wayward in the beginning. There was a couple of wides that happened, but doesn't take him long to find his rhythm. There's the 2 wickets, of course, for Ravindra Jadeja. He's bowled his spell out pretty much on the trot, is what he's done, unchanged. And 2 for 44 is what he's got. And now, of course, but a very predictable pattern of how he uses his bowlers, right, with Virat Kohli. That's what he likes. He's comfortable with that. You know when who's going to be coming in bowling.
Yeah, and that's him. You've seen Mahendra Singh Dhoni was unpredictable with his bowling, but he was predictable with picking his side or sticking to the players. With Virat Kohli, it's the other way around. When he picks his side or selects players, he's probably unpredictable. But when the pattern in which he rolls out his bowlers is quite predictable. Very similar to his batting as well. There's he comes and gets runs every time, which is predictable, but there's a format or a form, or he gets from 10 to 20 in certain number of balls, and then he takes it to another level. So that's the reflection, because that's how he looks at the game, and that's the reflection that you see when he gets his bowlers to come and bowl.
Correct. Now, one last question before we go, which is that from this point on, with 90 balls left, 183 is what Australia's at, 4 wickets down. Can they get to 300? That's question 1. And question 1A is, will 300 be enough?
I think 300 they'd get to. They'd be hugely disappointed if they don't get to 300, because you only got 4 Bumrah overs left, and there's a little inexperience with Saini towards the end. This wicket is good. So I think they will definitely get to 300. That's my take. But, 300, I would give India a chance till 326.
Nice. That's the number.
I mean, it's an odd number.
see what he said.
But those 20, 30 runs make the big difference.
Yeah.
You can look at this. If they were instead of 183 or 4 that they are now at 35th over, if they were 210, which is only 20, 30 runs different, you wouldn't have sent in Stark.
Yeah.
So those 20, 30 runs may not sound very big, but at that stage of a game, that's the pressure and that's the difference that it makes in your mindset. That's why I say 300, 305, I look at India chasing it down with no trouble, although we're playing against Australia. But when you get past that 228, 229, then you got to say, then it becomes 50-50.
There are hiccups for sure. And today, the Australian team will definitely need runs from Alex Carey and Ashton Turner. We discussed this in the pre-show, which is that they'll need runs from those guys there at 5 and 6, or today playing at 6 and 7. They'll need runs from them if they want to push to that 320, 325 hiccupy kind of total that India would have to chase down. Well, that's all we have time for. We, of course, are going to see you after the 50 overs on Cricbuzz Live. But right now, thank you for watching Sri Lankan Airlines and Visit Melbourne present Cricbuzz Comm Box.